Hey golfers, today we're talking MLA putters. You're watching another US Golf TV club review. My name is Troy Klongerbo, and we're here with the #1 alignment putter in the game of golf. Now, those aren't my words. They're the words of the folks over at MLA, and if you haven't heard of MLA, that's probably because you live stateside. They've done a lot of their marketing overseas in Europe, and they're just starting to have a presence. They've put a presence just as recently as 2016 down in Florida, so we're gonna start to see a lot more from these guys. And the biggest calling card behind these putters is technology, but it's totally different than the type of technology that you guys are used to seeing on TV and articles, Golf Digest, everything like that. The technology that you guys are used to seeing is Doppler radars, spin rates, launch angles, ball speeds, club head speeds, all the different, there's thousands of metrics that are being measured. These putters go after a totally different type of science, and it's the science of psychology and how your brain learns to identify lines and identify where those lines are going. And so MLA stands for multiple line activation, MLA. And the whole purpose of these putters is to get people aiming better. Now, there was a study done by an independent golf club review where they tested 28 different putters, and there was only one putter in the industry. This is going against the top of the top, the premier putting companies in the world. Only one putter beat these guys out in terms of actual aim and alignment, and I had never even heard of them. Like, the first time I saw it, I didn't even know exactly what it was, and upon first look, you look at the top line of the putter, and it kind of looks like something you might find at a Walmart or a Shopko or whatever you guys have in your town. I was like, this kind of looks a little cheap. And then after kind of taking a closer look, I was like, okay, this actually has a forged piece of metal. They've got some milling in the face. And then I went ahead and hit it, used it, tried it, aimed it. And these putters, I'll tell you what, guys, they're legit. They're legit putters. So we actually had 3 different styles here. I'm going to take off the head covers, and I'm actually going to throw these to the side. Actually, really nice head covers too. Kind of the leather with the, they got the magnets inside there. Really nice head covers. But we actually had 3 different types of putters here. We had a bit of a blade, kind of a blade or more of a bulk background there. We also had a bit of a kind of a mallet, almost smaller mallet though, almost like the Rossi, the Odyssey Rossi that you'll see that Brant Snedeker uses. And then we had more of a mallet, kind of more of a larger cavity mallet type putter. But all 3 have the exact same technology, and it's in the way that you look down at the putter. So if you guys have ever putted with an Odyssey putter, I just use that as an example. You guys remember those Odyssey 2 balls and how the 2 balls were white in color and they kind of had that coarse texture to it a little bit? That's exactly the texture that they have going on to the tops of these with an alignment aid. Now, most putters in the industry use dots or lines or something to give the golfer a view of kind of where they're aiming, using kind of like the peripheral vision of a parallel line or a perpendicular line. These guys go a totally different way. They actually don't have any lines, don't have any dots, and the aiming tool is this white piece that you guys can see directly behind the face of the putter, because they discourage golfers from aiming with the face. They say aim it with the putter and allow your eyes to do the work. So you'll notice there's actually 4 points to this shape, and it kind of makes a little bit of a C. It looks like a kind of an abbreviated C almost, where it kind of curves around the shape of the putter, but each one of these points represents a line. And when drawing all 4 of those lines parallel to one another, it gives the brain a totally different perception on where that ball is aiming. So if you guys have been watching TV at all, watching the golf US Open week right now, have you guys been seeing the technology that they've been using to show how a ball is going to break? They almost give it that path. You guys may have seen that path where it kind of shows where the putt's going to break. That's kind of the same concept they're going for here. They're not going for a singular line to aim. They're going more for a path, that thought of having 4 parallel lines and helping the golfer adjust with the eyes. If you guys head over to their website, over to MLA's website, you'll notice that they had a really cool piece of almost like an art graphic or a piece of technology where it showed 4 vertical lines and it had checkered, almost like black and white checkers kind of throughout it. And the lines look all disjointed and kind of confusing because your brain doesn't know how to percept those. It uses the art of illusion. But what it's actually doing is it's showing that all 4 of those lines are actually working parallel to one another, and the brain has the ability to correct that. So they've done science, they've done testing, they've got a US patent on these things about the technology and the psychology used to design these putters. And I'll tell you what, I found it very easy to aim. I found it easy to aim on short putts specifically, those 4, 5, 6 foot putts that we have to hit on line. I found it very easy to stand, align, oh, aimed a little too far left. Let's go ahead and bump this to the right a little bit. There we go, right edge, stroke it in. And I thought it was very easy to aim. And honestly, I'm gonna spend a lot of the review today talking about the aim, talking about the alignment, but there's more to the putters than just that. Every putter has to have a good feel, has to feel solid in your hands, and when you strike it, has to give you that type of feedback that you've either hit a good putt, a bad putt, made a good stroke, or a bad stroke. And with these inserts, if you guys go ahead, we're gonna zoom in on these faces for you guys and show you guys the inserts that they actually have. They've got this metal, they got this almost like this metal insert, and the way that it's grooved into the to the face, super solid feeling. Soft, the ball came off nice. I was able to control my distances nicely. We hit a couple of big downhill putts that were really challenging to get to stop, and I was able to, first one I hit, rolled too far, perfect. Pull it back a little bit, and the feel was just perfect. I was able to just kind of pull it back, and when you're really putting, I mean, you guys know speed is, we talked a lot about alignment, but speed is like the most important thing, and to be able to have a putter that gives you feedback to where you can dial in that speed is so important. So anyways, in closing, with the MLA putter, you guys will notice that it's all about alignment, and they've built a really good putter around the concept of alignment. So if you guys have trouble aiming putts, if you guys have had a hard time saying, I hit that right where I was aimed, it could be that you hit it exactly where you're aimed, but your eyes have you aiming in the wrong spot. And this is designed to help you guys get over that hurdle and kind of conquer the aim in putting. So that's all we have for today. If you guys want to learn more about the MLA, we've got a blog posted down in the meta description with all sorts of data that drives you back to their website, so you guys can learn all sorts about these putters and see if they're a fit for your game. So that's the end of the review for today. Feel free to leave comments below. We'll get back to you guys. We'll give you guys any feedback, if you answer questions, whatever you guys may have. And yeah, until we see you next time, that's it.